This is a talking clip, 2 minutes 38. Look at the waveform. Between one sentence and the next there are gaps, breaths, pauses, the moment I'm reaching for the next word. Removing them by hand means finding them, marking them, cutting and closing up one at a time. In video 91, I had an AI agent do it. Today I'll show you the same thing without an agent. Same work, same result to the frame, one button inside Magic Automa. 1 minute 55, 27% shorter, and not one word clipped. Applications menu. DaVinci Resolve Studio. Remove silences. First question, which clip? The one under the playhead. It reads that clip's media file and also where it sits on the timeline. So if you've already trimmed it or moved it, the arithmetic still lands right. Then the two settings that decide everything. The threshold. A silence is a pause at least this long. Under a second is usually breathing, and breathing stays. And the margin, 3 frames left on each side, because you never cut a word on its attack. Watch how that behaves. If a silence is shorter than twice the margin, it doesn't get squeezed, it gets skipped, and it tells you so. Finally, head and tail. By default, they stay. A silence in the middle is a flaw of speech. The two ends are an editing choice, and that one's yours. Find the silences. It's transcribing, and the important word is here. The transcription runs on this computer. The model ships with the program and downloads the first time. Nothing goes to the cloud, and from a second run, it works with no internet at all. 16 seconds later, there's the table. 11 silences, each with its start and end time code, and how much would come out. Head and tail are there too, marked as skipped, with the reason spelled out. I didn't ask for them. And now the thing an agent doesn't give you. The checkboxes. I like this pause. I'm keeping it. Off the list. This one I want shorter. Watch the total at the bottom while I decide. It updates as I choose, not afterwards. Before cutting, a dry run I always recommend. Mark, don't cut. The same silences become markers on the timeline. Red bands exactly as long as the pause. You see them in place, on top of your edit, before a single frame is touched. That's the preview. If one band looks wrong to you, untick it in the table and it's gone. And when you do cut for real, the markers clean themselves up, but only its own. The ones it placed, the red markers you had put there yourself, stay exactly where they are. Cut the selected silences. 20 seconds, and the clip is 1 minute 55. Now let me tell you what happened underneath, because these are 4 rules learned the hard way. 1. Deselect everything before every cut. Ripple delete gives priority to the selection, and with a clip selected, it deletes that clip and ignores the range you marked. 2. In and out don't go in from the keyboard. They go in through the API because a keystroke with the focus elsewhere fails silently, and you never find out. 3. The outer range is inclusive, so for a true 3-frame margin, the out steps back one more. And 4, the big one. It cuts from the last silence to the first because every cut pulls everything after it backwards. Starting at the top, the second cut would already be on the wrong frame. One moment for those whose DaVinci isn't in English. These 2 commands go through the menu. The API doesn't expose ripple delete. There's no way around it. And the names of those menu entries, in Italian or in German, are different. That's why the 2 paths are editable fields and not constants buried in the code. Open your DaVinci, read what they're called on your machine, fix them once. Next to it, there's send them from the keyboard. The same 2 operations as shortcuts. It's faster, 20 seconds against 27, measured, and menus don't keep flashing open and shut over your timeline. The theoretical risk is a keystroke failing silently, but here every cut verifies the previous one, so you'd know immediately. If you trust the settings and don't even want to look at the table, there's the button right next to it. Do it all, find and cut, one press. And if you need this every day, the button that closes the circle, save as macro. It proposes a name, You save, and from now on it's a button of yours, carrying the action and every choice you made in the form. Open it in the editor and look at what you're holding. There's the mode, and there are 3. Plan touches nothing and just hands you back the cutting plan. You can even store it in a variable and let it decide whether it's worth it. Markers lays the bands down. Cut cuts. You can say which silences to act on, 1, 3, 5 through 9. Pick the transcription model. Force the spoken language instead of letting it guess. And because it's a macro, it goes on a key, on a stream deck, or inside a loop that does 20 clips while you go get a coffee. To recap, decide what a silence is, threshold and margin. Find them. Untick the ones you're keeping. Look at the marker preview cut. And once the routine convinces you, save it as a macro and never open this window again. You need DaVinci Resolve Studio and Magic Automa Studio. The transcription model is included and works offline. If instead you want to see the same job asked for in plain words to an AI agent, that's video 91. Subscribe and see you next time.